Hello there, guys. Today we have a cute little chess study to look at. We are a rook up, but 2 pawns down, but this should be material wise winning. The problem is black is threatening our rook and also threatening our knight. And if we lose either of them, it's going to be really, really tough. I would say impossible to win this, and it will only be a draw. So we need to keep both or win this bishop. The question is, how do we do this and how do we win as white? So take a look at this, post a video, and see if you can find the full variation into the end. Go ahead. Okay, welcome back. So obviously we cannot check or anything. There's no sacrifice at all. The only possible move is to get away with our rook and at the same time threaten the bishop. That is the right starting move. I don't see any other move worth looking at actually. The problem is now what will happen. Of course, black will move his bishop and threaten our rook. If it goes to g5, it's a very simple win for us. We can move the rook again to either g8 or d5, and we'll place it in a light square. So he cannot move the bishop again to threaten us. He can give a check, but then we can move back our knight. And from here, it's an easy win. We are a rook up, and it's very trivial. But the thing is, what happens after bishop a5? He's threatening our rook again, and he is hidden behind his own pawns, so we cannot attack the bishop. What are we going to do now? Well, we're going to continue like this. We're going to play rook d5. So we're pinning the pawn, and if he takes our knight, we will take his bishop, and we're still a rook up. Okay, what happens now? Black is smart. He takes our knight anyway. And we take the bishop. And we are a rook up. Looks good. But look at this. Black answers with b5. And he is trapping our rook on a5. This is still the winning variation, but it's getting harder from here. Okay, so how do we win this as white? Well, okay, I'm going to give you the first move. We move closer with our king. We want to get it to b4 and protect here, maybe force his king away. If he goes to b5, we can go here, and he's in Zugzwang. He has to move the king away. And this is still not easy to win, but black has an even better defense. So let's look at that first. King b7. And he's trying to not get himself into Zugzwang, instead get a tempo move, and we have some problem winning this. Okay, so again, now you can pause the video and see if you think you can find how white wins from here. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. If we go with the king to b4, he will answer with king b6. We will have to move away our king and lose our rook, or sacrifice our rook, and this is not winning. So we cannot play king b4 here. Instead, we play this beautiful move, king d4. But now you say, wait a minute, what happens if black plays king b6? Well, we're going to allow him to do that. How can we possibly win here? The rook is trapped, and we are a couple of pawns down, and it looks really impossible. Well, it isn't, because after king b6, we simply go with the king to d5 and allowing him to take here. If it doesn't take, he has to move away the king, and then we can go to c5 or c6, depending on where he goes, and we force him away, and we save our rook. So we're just allowing him to take here. We only have one pawn left, but we don't need more, because look at this. King c5. And now we put him in a Zugzwang. The king cannot move, this pawn cannot move, this pawn cannot move. He has to play b4, and then of course we simply take it with a checkmate. Such a beautiful checkmate. We've seen this theme before in different puzzles, but it's still beautiful. He's trapped by his own pawns, and it's a checkmate on a5. Such a beautiful study. I really like this. Okay, let me just show you what happened. I talked about here. If black moved to king b6 right away, we can play king b4, and then he will play king a7, and we go up here. But again, it will force us away, and he will be able to come here. But it will be the same variation. We don't go to b4, instead we go here, and you see it's the same variation as before, like this. So, really clever. We start from the beginning and we're trying to save a piece, but in the end, we sacrifice actually both the rook and the knight, and we win with this little pawn on its own. Beautiful, beautiful study. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.